All the horses are now approaching the starting gates. They'll be loading shortly. All the horses have now reached the starting point. It's now post time. First horse entering the gates is the number 4 horse. Riderless is I Wanna Rock. And now jockey Ramiro Sanchez Castillo will climb aboard. Next in is the number 1, Miss Chloe Suspect. Number 2, Admiral Nelson goes in. Number 3 is Bar EF Rush for Candy. One of 2 in this field making their lifetime debut. Right alongside is the other, that's I Wanna Rock. Number 5, A Russian Lily, currently the 7-5 favorite on the board, is in. Waiting on the last one in, the lone gray in this field. Number 6 is Runaway Sugar Man. They're at the post. And they're off. Lunging at the start was A Russian Lily. Capitalizing is Admiral Nelson, veering to the inside, leads it by 2. From the extreme outside, Runaway Sugar Man is picking it up, but they're going to have to run down Admiral Nelson, but they will not. Admiral Nelson wins it. Second was Runaway Sugar Man, and A Russian Lily completes the triactor. Race 1 numbers unofficial, 265. The unofficial winner of the first race was number 2, Admiral Nelson. Second was number 6, Runaway Sugar Man. Third, number 5, A Russian Lily. And fourth, number 4, I Wanna Rock. The results of the first race are now official. The winner is number 2, Admiral Nelson. 3-year-old Sorrow Gelding by Caviar and Corona out of Cashin de Vegas by Gold Medal Jazz. Bred, owned, and trained by James Bogar, Admiral Nelson was ridden to victory by jockey D.I. Benitez with a time of 13.616 seconds, carrying a speed index of 82. Rechecking from top to bottom, order of finish in your program should read 615-432. Those are your total results of the first race. In this upcoming second race, just the following overweights, number 2 and number 4. I'm Speedy and High Velocity, both 2 pounds over. Number 5, A Fancy Arrangement, 6 pounds over. And number 7, Magic Dynasty, 4 pounds over. Race 2 is Race A of this afternoon's Pick 5.
Admiral Nelson winning today's first race at Ajax Downs on a glorious sunny day. I had to put my hat on today. Very sunny. Great crowd. And the winner of the first race, Admiral Nelson, owned, trained, and bred in Ontario here by James Bogar and by his own stallion, Caviar and Corona. The winning rider, Diego Benitez. And helping me with this interview is Ramiro Castillo, because he's just so good like that, okay? And Ramiro was in the race as well. Maybe he can tell us how his horse ran, because he was on a first-time starter by the name of I Wanna Rock. Diego, tell me, Admiral Nelson, how did you get him to win today? How was the trip?
I don't know. I no sabía qué hacer. Yo solamente.
He know that how riding only is keep on riding.
Well, the horse had been fourth in all of his races, but today he sort of looked like he liked the more distance.
Cuatro carreras siempre se fue para los lados, pero ahora arrancó bien.
Ahora lo sentía que también quiso hacer un poquito, pero ya donde que tomó el control. Se,
Start really hard, broke really hard,
Yeah.
and good. You can keep the control in the middle of the neck. You go straight.
Very good. Now, Ramiro, how did your horse do? First time starter. Looked like he was a bit silly here in the paddock, but finished fourth.
Yeah, she's amazing, no? And here a little whip, but you know, and the race is perfect. Go straight, and it'll get really nice. Take the corner. No, next time is very scared. First time.
Well, thank you very much, you two. Thank you, Diego. Congratulations. That's Ramiro and Diego, and maybe we'll have them back again when the other one wins one. Okay, we have the second race coming up in about 18 minutes.
Well, Jen, that horse was awfully impressive. Admiral Nelson. I know you really like this horse. You know, sometimes horses just run to their looks, and that was the case with that horse in race number 1.
Yeah, I didn't pick him to win, but when I saw him marching around the walking ring here, I was almost, I felt bad that I wasn't on air just saying that this horse, you know, he was so calm and just looked like he owned the place. And then I thought, wow, you know, there was a couple of them that were acting up a bit. Like the 4 was, you could tell that was his first race because he was being a bit silly. And he just looked outstanding compared to the others. So another win for James Bogart.
Yeah, doing a great job. Race number 2, the start of today's Pick 5, a speed index event. These are 3-year-old and up with an average of 80 and under. And I know we're a bit on the different pages here. I went with the 8-horse Speedy Country Mouse, who's 3-1 right now. You landed on the 6-horse Jessadeel, who's a juicy 8-1 at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think this race they're going to change odds a whole bunch of times here. There's so many horses to choose from, but let's look at Speedy Country Mouse, your pick. She has really been such a trier, and she's only raced 5 times. Owned and trained by Peggy Byrne and bred by Gloria Edgerton. This gal, second beaten in neck in her most recent start. And that was one of the lower speed index levels. So she's actually moving up in class today. But the way she tries so hard, and her speed indexes have been getting better with every race. Last time, 81, when second by a neck to Mia Havana. Now, third in that race was Miss Chloe Suspect. Don't go by how Miss Chloe Suspect did in the first race today. She didn't break well at all and lost all chance. But Speedy Country Mouse, meeting tougher, but one that I would consider using in the Superfecta.
Okay, let's look at your pick in here. Jessadeel, Ramiro Sanchez Castillo riding for Bob Broadstock in here. This horse making her first start of 2023.
I thought Jessadeel, one of the more impressive ones here walking around. Actually, she's going to walk right behind me here, number 6, and classy mare, 7 years old, first race of her season, and look at her. She's done it a million times. She's not hot. She's not as hot as her trainer. Her trainer, Bob Broadstock, he's very hot. There he is. But anyways, Jessadeel, first start of the year. She won her first start of last season. She runs well when she's fresh almost every year. She handles various different distances. I know Nick had mentioned in the pregame show that she's probably a little happier with a bit more distance.
Right.
But I think it's okay for her. I think the class level here, I mean, I think she's probably the best horse as far as class level. It's just a matter of her being sharp and ready to win. But, yeah, I like her, and especially, you know, I'd like her at 4-1 for sure.
Speaking of class, the 2-horse I'm Speedy, this 10-year-old gelding, 10 lifetime wins in 65 starts, 128,000 in the bank. That's a class animal.
Yeah, I'm Speedy is a classy dude. This is his 4th start of the year. He's been searching for a spot. So the last 2 races he's run at 110 yards and, you know, not his best distance. And last time, June 18th, he blew the start. He sort of jumped up there. So don't worry about that. Before that, 4th in the 110. And then he ran against stakes horse Spy for the Senate in his season debut. So big class drop here for I'm Speedy. The Les Baker barn, already a winner this season. And Ismail Mascara, who has been winning races at Fort Erie. He's sitting on his first win at Ajax this year. It could be I'm Speedy.
Okay, we're going to, we got a special guest right now with the camera on me. There we go. Karina Kukas is in the house. There she is. She will be a horse better. I can tell you that, right, Karina? What number do you like? She told me she likes the 8. That's it for race number 2, the start of the Pick 5. Good luck with your wagering.
The horses are now entering the track for today's second race. It's for 3-year-olds and upward with an average speed index of 80 and under, running for a purse of $9,000. Number 1, Kit's a Winner, owned by the partnership of Earl Foster and Ross Leach, and ridden by Norman D'Souza. Number 2 is Les Baker's I'm Speedy, the mount today to Ismail Mosquera. Number 3 is Richard Kennedy's Chiseled Man, ridden today by jockey Carly Furlonger. Number 4, High Velocity, owned by Brooke Sisson and ridden by Rachel Isaacs. Number 5 is A Fancy Arrangement, owned by Joe Tavares and ridden by Eddie Walton. Number 6, Jess a Deal, owned by the partnership of Marie Broadstock and the Peacock Cattle Company and ridden today by Ramiro Sanchez Castillo. Number 7 is Magic's Dynasty, owned by Milena Fitchin and ridden by jockey J.B. Botello. And number 8 is Speedy Country Mouse, owned by Peggy Byrne and ridden by Cassandra Jeske. That is your field for the second race, going a distance of 300 yards. Race 2 is Race A of this afternoon's Pick 5. All the horses are now approaching the starting gates. They'll be loading shortly. All the horses have now reached the starting point. It's post time. The horses are now entering the starting gates. First one in, number 1, Kit's a Winner, trying to give Paul Garrison his first win at the meet. Number 5 is A Fancy Arrangement is in. Also seeking their first victory of the 2023 season are both owner-trainer Joe Tavares and jockey Ed Walton. Number 2, I'm Speedy. The 10-year-old gelding is in. Jockey Ismail Mosquera looking for his first win at the Ajax Downs meet. Number 3 is Chiseled Man. Jessa Deal is in, also making its 2023 season debut. 7 is Magic's Dynasty and Speedy Country Mouse. They're at the post, and they're off. Out quickest towards the inside is Kit's a Winner. In the center is Chiseled Man and I'm Speedy. I'm Speedy coming to the flank of Kit's a Winner, and from the extreme outside, Jessa Deal shows late run. It's coming down to the finish. I'm Speedy on top with Jessa Deal. I'm Speedy wins it. Jessa Deal was second, Kit's a Winner third, and Chiseled Man completes the superfecta in race 2. The unofficial winner of the second race was number 2, I'm Speedy. Second was number 6, Jessa Deal. Third, number 1, Kit's a Winner. And fourth, number 3, Chiseled Man. The results of the second race are now official. The winner is number 2, I'm Speedy. 10-year-old Sorrel Gelding by It's All About Speed out of Lady Cal by Calex. Bred, owned, and trained by Les Baker, I'm Speedy winning the distance with a time of 15.641 seconds, carrying a speed index 8 of 88. Ridden to victory by jockey Ismail Mosquera. Rechecking from top to bottom, order of finish in your program should read 314-652-87. Those are the total results of the second race. In this upcoming third race, we have one overweight, number 1, Wildcates Dynasty, 4 pounds over. Race 3 is race A of this afternoon's only pick 4.
What a great run there by the 10-year-old I'm Speedy. Incredible run by him, holding off Jessa Deal, who I think went off as the favorite. And congratulations to owner, breeder, trainer Les Baker here. We'll talk to Les in a minute. Ismail Mosquera winning his first race at Ajax Downs this year. Not a lot of mounts, but he was getting so close. But he's been very busy at Fort Erie. But Ismail, good to get the first win of the season finally, yes?
Yes, it was getting heavy, but thank you for Mr. Les. 10-year-old guy gave me my first victory this year, so I couldn't be more proud.
And I'm Speedy. I mean, what an interesting horse to win on. Like, you've ridden him before, and you came close last year on him. What did you expect from him today? Did you think that he could win this race?
Yes, definitely. The time that I rode him this year in the 110, all we were craving, it was a little bit more on ground, so this distance fit him perfect, company fit him perfect, and he's just classy old boy. He knows his business, and I'm just thankful that I got the ride on him.
Well, that's very good, and you got the gals here, your lucky charms.
Yes, definitely. When they don't come, they always support me on the TV, so I'm glad that they came take a picture with me today. So.
Very good, Ismail. Now you're on a roll. Just keep it going, okay?
Thank you, Les.
Les, 10 years old, this horse. How do you keep a horse like that winning at the age of 10? He won last year at the age of 9. He looks like he's not even 10, like he was being silly trying to come into the walking ring here. He just enjoys life.
He really enjoys racing. Once the spring comes, he changes like night and day. He knows what's coming, and you can't control him. He just wants to go do his job. But this is his last year. I'm going to find him a good home with some nice people because he's been real good to me, and he's been a pleasure to have. And Ishmael rode a really good race. Couldn't ask him to do any more.
Wow, so he's going to be retired at the end of this year. Well, that's 11 wins and 66 starts. I guess he went over 100,000 U.S., I think, today, so he's obviously won more than that. And your son Lee does a lot of the work, too.
Lee does 90% of it now. He does a heck of a job, and I probably couldn't do it without him. His girlfriend helps. My girlfriend helps. It's kind of a family thing, and we're doing our best with what we have.
Well, that's great. Good to see you in the winner's circle, Les. You've been around the thoroughbreds and the quarter horses, and we love seeing I'm Speedy.
Thank you very much.
All right, Les, congratulations to I'm Speedy and all his family. We have race 3 coming up in 17 minutes.
Race number 3 is the Speed Index event. These are 3-year-olds and up with an average of 70 and under. 110 yards the distance. Jen, they start in front of you, they end in front of you, and it's going to take about 6.8 seconds. And who do you like in here?
Well, this is, as we talked about earlier in the day in the pregame show, Nick, very tricky race. None of these horses have even tried 110 yards. So you try to find a horse that typically breaks very well in their races, and I still couldn't find one of those. So I landed on the 5-horse, Making an Effort. And, of course, this is the first leg of the pick 4, and so we decided, you know, what are we going to do? Are we going to use 1 or 2 horses? Well, your pick 4 ticket that you showed, you're using an all in here. It's only 5 horses. Why not? But I landed on Making an Effort. I took him because I think he's probably the most talented horse in this race. He showed a lot of ability last year. He's been a little bit slow to get going in 2023. Carly Furlonger rides for her partner Scott Reed, and her dad owns part of this horse, Phil Furlonger. And this guy just, you know, not quite showing what he showed last year, but in most recent race, 3rd to Aquatica in one of the trials for that Never Better Than 79 maturity. He passed up running in the final to run in this race. And also note that he's off Lasix today, which, you know, might mean that he's, you know, he's maybe not quite as little bit drawn today and, you know, feeling a bit sharper. He looks pretty good.
Yeah, that could be a really good move on Scott Reed's part to take the horse off Lasix. I mean, they're only going 110 yards. I'm not really sure that Lasix is going to do much of be a help to a horse going that short of a distance. You know, I like the 5 as well. I also I like the 4 because I think the 4 has shown some speed, but I think you hit it right on, Jen. There's no clear-cut speed. The one horse that could be a little interesting in here, and I didn't pick this horse at all, and that's the 2-horse, Bewitching. This horse has won 5 lifetime starts, and if you go back to her last start of last year on October 26th, I know it was 300 yards, but she did go wire to wire that day. So, you know, we're looking for horses that have got some early lick and can break well. She might be a horse that neither one of us really paid much attention to.
Well, if you add up all the wins of all of her rivals, you still don't get to 5 wins, and she's won 5 races.
Right.
Classy mare, still winning last year at the age of 9, like you said. Corinne Andros, we should welcome her back. She rode here at Ajax Downs a few years ago, been riding out in BC, and she's going to partner Bewitching. And you're right, I mean, she's run once this year. I do notice that she wins her last race of every year, so it kind of takes her a few races to get into her sharpest form. So I'm not exactly sure. I am interested in the horse that you picked, the 4-horse Kefla. I mean, she's never won a race, but that was a super effort last time on June 14th with Alexis Sanchez riding. And as we mentioned earlier, Alexis Sanchez rode his first winner as a jockey at Fort Erie on Monday this week, and now looking for his first win here at Ajax. Kefla is definitely a contender.
I tell you, he'd love to win this race, just in the mere fact that if they bring the buckets out with water, he'll get cooled off, that's for sure, because it is a hot day here at Ajax Downs. 3-horse Chicks Got Me Wondering. Love the name. Cheyenne Kerr in the saddle again today. 1 for 27. I don't like.
Well, he hits the board a lot. I mean, he's been in the money 9 of 27. This is his 3rd start off the layoff. It's one of my favorite plays, a horse making its 3rd start after a vacation. His latest wasn't bad at all. He was not far behind Kefla. He's kind of a big, goofy fellow, and he's just sort of hanging out over there. He looks pretty good. The Joe Chaveras barn, typically slower to get the horses ready into winning form, but he wouldn't surprise me. He wouldn't surprise me winning this. More likely to be 2nd or 3rd.
And the last horse in here is the 1-horse Wild Cakes Dynasty. J.B. Botello riding, of course, for Jason Pascoe. It's amazing that we've got 5 horses in the race, and Jason's got one who's our leading trainer here, and we haven't really mentioned him. And when you look on paper, he doesn't look like he's really got a chance, but maybe Jason knows something that we don't know, and he's trying something different with this 6-year-old mare.
Well, it might be a starting point onto something else. She's only run one time in the last couple of years. She's a maiden, and that only race she ran last year was a good one. She ran against some very nice horses, including making an effort, finished third. But now she's been off again. But yeah, certainly it wouldn't be a surprise that the leading trainer wins a 110-yard race at this level. She makes a good appearance, so I would probably include her in the triactor.
That's our field for race number 3 coming up in about 6 minutes. There's win, place, show, exactor, triactor, daily double, pick 3, and of course the start of today's pick 4. Good luck with your wagering.
The horses are now entering the track for today's third race. It's for 3-year-olds and upward with an average speed index of 70 and under, running for a purse of $8,000. Number 1, Wild Kate's Dynasty, owned by Milena Fitchin and ridden today by jockey J.B. Botello. Number 2 is Dan Giles Bewitchin', the mount to Corrine Andros. Number 3 is Chicks Got Me Wonderin', owned by Joe Tavares and ridden by Cheyenne Kerr. Number 4 is Sean Slater's Kefla, the mount to Alexis Sanchez. And number 5 is Making an Effort, owned by the partnership of Phil Furlonger and Scott Reed, and ridden by jockey Carly Furlonger. That is your field for the third race, going a distance of 110 yards. Race 3 is Race A of this afternoon's Pick 4.